It was a time of dystopian novels and utopian thoughts, of flickering neon lights in rouge. Smoke would bind the air like spineless venom, and we jostled through the haze for a glimpse. All around us, songs filled the night with burn. Noses bled on the shattered windows of broken glass houses, but never noticed the pain. They watched, like us. People shuffled from one end of life to another in an instant. Mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and wives. No, the wives remained. Who else would say farewell to the poets? I was never a poet, but I had words to say. Now I stood as a poet among equals. There were so few that remained, flickering candles in the wind that swept us all on the magic carpet. We wrote of flayed skins and hate as though we knew how to feel. I longed to feel. I was a poet. So I cut my skin in thin, long strips and fed it to the mind. It was a time when people stood and cheered at the promise of blood. They took away my pen. They hung it upside down at the corner of my street from its nib. I watched the ink dry. The gutter ran blue that day. I was never a poet, but I had become one. I was never a watcher, but I observed dystopian novels feed on people like us. We screamed in our sleep while they marched on the streets and snatched our dawn. It was a time before cancer, but I felt my body rot in the grave where it fed upon itself. It was a time before WhatsApp, but I saw the rumors grow into posters that painted our walls like truth. I was never a poet, but I shrieked out loud. It was a time when people wore bow ties and clapped softly at our ears. They took away my scream. They plastered it all over town in black and white to be urinated upon. I watched them pass me by. The city lost its mind that day. I was never a poet, but I had become one. I was never a dreamer, but I saw utopian visions in the scribbles on my wall. My nails drew blood, but I felt no pain. It was a time of red. It was a time when heroes bled and angels shed their wings. Thank you.